For the first time ever, it feels like it's 75 and sunny inside the Tennity Ice Pavilion. With negative temperatures outside, the Syracuse men's hockey team returns back to Syracuse for the first time since their 7-game road trip alongside Carter Masterson. My name's Evan Harrington. And Carter, that 7-game road trip for the Orange did not go as planned.
Certainly, it did not go as they would have hoped. They won the first one versus Oswego, but it was 6 straight losses after that did in the Orange. But they're back home at Tennity versus a familiar foe, one they've beat 5 times in the last calendar year and 2 times in this season alone.
Yeah, that being Stony, Brook, and a couple of negatives there, but a couple of positives for Syracuse, that being Ben Brandt and Carter Rugg. They have been hot as of late.
Yes, they have. Ben Brandt on a 4-game point streak, Carter Rugg on a 3-game goal streak. Both of those players scored the last time these two teams played. In their most recent matchup, it was a 2-1 victory for the Orange, and Brandt had both of the Syracuse goals in that game. The one before that, Rugg scored the opener. So they are playing their best hockey at the right time for Syracuse, and with a good weekend, the Orange are still within reach of the top of the table.
Puck drop just a couple of minutes away. Stay with us for Syracuse versus Stony Brook. We'll be back in a few.
Brett. And in goal, number 29, Steven Reganato. Stony Brook is coached by Chris Garofalo. He's assisted by Andrew Veglucci and Michael Birdie. And now the starting lineup for your Syracuse Orange. On defense, the freshman from North Conway, New Hampshire, number 27, Robbie Murphy. His partner on defense, the senior from Chester, New Jersey, ultimate captain, number 25, Sean Cano. And left wing, the sophomore from Saco, Maine, number 29, Eli Undergrass. And right wing, the senior from Annapolis, Maine, number 20, Henry Pendleton. At center, the sophomore from West Hartford, Connecticut, number 3, Aiden Henry. And in goal for the Orange, the senior from Brantford, Connecticut, number 40, A.J. Pinta. Your Syracuse Orange are coached by Chris Timmons. He's assisted by Jordan Alhart, John Moore, and Zach Goldenberg. Now, if you're able, would you please rise? Gentlemen, remove your caps for the playing of the national anthem. Performed tonight by Syracuse men's hockey staff member, Lee Dancevich.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Tonight's ceremonial puck drop.
And welcome back to the Tennity Ice Pavilion. Once again, alongside Carter Masterson, my name is Evan Harrington, here for tonight's ACHA Division I men's hockey matchup with the visiting Stony Brook Seawolves coming here to the Tennity Ice Pavilion. We talked about it in the open. Syracuse back at home finally after their 7-game road trip and looking to snap that 6-game losing streak.
Yeah, this is going to be a big one for them. They sit just 4 points behind Stony Brook. That means with 2 wins in regulation, they could just completely surpass them. 2 wins in overtime, of course, would adjust that and create different scenarios. But they are within striking range at the top. And with their next 6 games, they've got Stony Brook twice and Pitt twice, the first 2 teams in this division. A lot of ground for Syracuse to make up, maybe, sure, but the opportunity is in front of them.
And there's the ceremonial puck drop at center ice, and we'll highlight it a bit throughout tonight's broadcast. It is Military Appreciation Night. It was number 7, Brendan Duffy for Syracuse, and number 76, William Cormanick for Stony Brook. And when you take a look at the ACCM1 North standings, the top 4 teams make it, and right now, Pitt has 21 points in first, Stony Brook here tonight with 20 points in second. Delaware, who the Orange just played recently, 19 points in third. And the Orange sitting at fourth with 16 points, but not too far behind them, with 14 points, that being Oswego State.
Yeah, I guess it's a really good thing that that 6-game losing streak wasn't a 7-game losing streak. They'll hope to try to avoid it ever getting to that mark here today.
And here we go, Syracuse and Stony Brook. The Orange win the opening faceoff, but taken back and coming back quickly. That's Legret for Stony Brook, but Sean Caddo pressuring the puck will push this one back into the Seawolves defensive zone. In goal for the Orange, it's going to be the reliable number 40, A.J. Finta. And, you know, Finta has seen some time against Stony Brook here so far this year.
Yeah, and he had a great performance in his last time out. He had 44 saves. Unreal stuff.
The Orange looking to rely upon Finta here down the stretch in their last couple of regular season weekends before playoff time comes, if they get to that point. And speaking of Brendan Duffy, he'll dump this one in. Joining the fray with him is Jack Duffy. But coming back, a 2-on-1 look for Stony Brook. Quick shot, and it's in, sneaking it past Finta. And Stony Brook takes a quick 1-0 lead off the backs to number 16, Lorenzo Mara, his 9th of the year.
Yeah, the Syracuse forwards got a little too deep in the zone trying to chase the puck there, and it allowed for a great counter-attack chance for the Seawolves. Down the side, in the slot, you pick your spot, you hit your spot, and that is what happened right there. A beautiful burial right there.
The New York native played his junior days in the NCDC with the Northern Cyclones. And just over a minute in, Mara cashes it in. A low shot past the netminder in Finta. Unassisted, and now in over the line, Duffy. A chance for the Orange, and the save made by the Seawolves netminder. We just were going to get to him, that being Steven Reginato.
Yeah, Regnato comes into this one 11-9 on the season. He's having an excellent year with a save percentage over 900, a goals allowed just under 4, a little bit high, but he has been very solid in net for the Seawolves.
Yeah, and Reginato, not the tallest netminder, 6 foot, but very quick and can find different spots in the crease to make saves just like we saw.
Yeah. You see the same thing on the other side with Finta, both standing at 6 feet tall, both very athletic, able to make some impressive saves when they need it, but not the biggest goalies.
And now Syracuse coming back in numbers. That one pushing pace. That was Bradley Parker, who scored his first goal with the Orange all the way back in their 5-3 win against Oswego on the road. That was the first game of that 7-game road trip, and we talked about how Oswego State is the 5th team in the ACC N1 North division. But once again, we talked about if they did not win that game to kick off the road trip, things could be a lot worse for Syracuse as they are tonight.
Yeah, there wouldn't be any talk of trying to climb up the ladder. It would be trying to climb into the playoffs. And right now they sit in that final spot. It'll be, now it's trying to advance their spot and get a higher seed in their division.
And DeSaro in on the forecheck for Stony Brook. And back below the goal, Jake Brown looking to get it out. This puck will trickle its way all the way down the length of the ice. And no icing. Parker in on the forecheck, and now the regroup begins for Stony Brook. Malik sent it down the ice. It will go for the game's first icing. 17:07 left to go. And a no-zone face-off coming up for the Orange.
This is the quickest goal that has gotten on the board for in either of their games this year. It took into the second period in their most recent game. Before that, it took about halfway through the first. This one came just a minute in. This is also the first time that Stony Brook has scored first. So we'll see if that is the method that they can use to fix their bad momentum versus the Orange.
And this one pushed forward by Labus. And a little misplay of the puck there by the Seawolves netminder, almost costing him there, but a quick look from the far side half wall by Robbie Murphy will find its way back to him on the far point, looking to keep it in. does so, and if he did not keep that puck in Orange possession, that could have been a 3-on-1 going the other way.
Yeah, Stony Brook looked to have the numbers there. Great play by the freshman.
And the puck will find its way to Smith. Near side, plays it to the slot. Quick shot, wide of Finta on the look by Vernello. Farm point, that one played back down low, cycled up top. Farm point, D-to-D pass will find a man backdoor look on the feed from number 24, that being Kowalski. He had the luck, just cannot convert, and Kowalski back up the ice to Smith, taken back. Vernello, he's met at the near side half wall on a big hit by Jack Duffy. And Pendergrass plays it into the zone for the Orange. And he continues to apply pressure. And he'll have Aiden Emery joining the fray. And you look at the jerseys for Syracuse, Carter, and you know, obviously we know the blue and orange being a staple in Syracuse, but a little bit of a different pattern here today with it being Military Appreciation Night.
Yeah, they got some sweet camo jerseys down there with the orange, red, or the orange, blue, and white. Great to show some appreciation for our military, all they do, protecting us year round. Only one night to appreciate them, but glad that the Syracuse community knows that all their hard work is greatly appreciated by everyone in the local community.
Face off to the right of Finta, won by the Orange. This one's going to be flipped up into the neutral zone, played by Jackson Haskins. And Haskins is going to just play this one back into the Orange defensive zone. Finta out of the goal will play it up and out of the zone. That one trickles right to the stick of number 44. That's Colin Wenrick. We're 5 minutes through the opening period of play, and a turnover for Syracuse. And a chance to toe drag off a great look by Nakagawa. But shut down, and this puck played in on goal, and we'll have to see Reginado cover up.
Syracuse is lucky that it's not more than 1-0 right now. They have given up some really, really excellent chances to Stony Brook on the back door. They need to do a little bit better job at marking their man in the defensive zone and staying with him. Stony Brook is moving the puck a lot right now, and it is definitely disorganizing the Syracuse back end.
And Nathan McLean in the face-off circle for the Orange, but it's won by Mara, once again, who scored the opening goal just a little bit over a minute in, and now coming back with speed. Mara and Hyde, diving, and the net is knocked off its post, but what acceleration up the ice by the Seawolves.
Once again, they're getting to the back end. It was a 2-on-1 at the start. Syracuse drops back, gets the numbers they wanted, but it just still, there was a little bit of a miscommunication there when the pass came. They weren't sure who was supposed to be in which lane, who was supposed to be going after which attackman, and it resulted in a really good opportunity once again for Stony Brook. Fortunately, it goes wide of the net, and Finta gets another chance with it being 1-0, but the Syracuse defensive end of the puck has to just be a little bit sharper.
And a little tie-up off the draw, but it will find the stick of Ben Brandt, who cuts his way into the slot, taken away. A Seawolf knockdown, delayed penalty coming against Syracuse. And it's going to be called for a hooking penalty. It looks like it's going to come against, we'll see, it's Ben Brandt or Brendan Duffy, and it will be Ben Brandt. He'll head to the box, and not the start you want if you are the Orange. Not only did you concede the game's opening goal, not even 2 minutes in, but not even 6 minutes in, you're now finding yourselves down a man.
Looked a little bit more like a trip than a hook to me, but either way, it's the same result. 2 minutes in the box and a power play for Stony Brook.
This is a Syracuse penalty kill that has just not been sharp over that 6-game losing streak.
No, it has been really, really bad.
And they shoot and score from the top of the point. Number 44, Colin Wenrich. Popping bottles here at Tennity over the top of Finta. They lead 2-0.
Before I could even get it out, 8 goals now in their last 20 power plays they've allowed. That is an awful mark. That's around 40% the other team is executing on the power play. That's just a mark you can't have and expect to win games. Earlier in the season, their penalty kill mark was at 73%. But over this stretch, it's down to 60.
We talked about it. Syracuse has gotten the best of Stony Brook so far this year in both of their regular season matchups, and they've won the last 5. Not the start you want if you are head coach Chris Timmons and his squad. This is just not the way you can start a game back at home for the first time in really almost a month.
Yeah, it's got to be the absolute nightmare start for the Orange, but if you are a Seawolf, you are feeling excellent right now. They got a 2-goal lead for the first time that these two teams have played this year, and this has been just tough sledding for Stony Brook. 5 straight losses. This has got to be their dream start.
Down in the stands, out of the Orange, makes an appearance. We'll maybe see if he comes up here in a little bit. Typically does love supporting the Syracuse men's club hockey team, and Otto's got a busy job. It seems like he's everywhere.
You always see him bouncing around campus on the scooter. Very friendly face.
And this one dumped in by Carter Rugg. Carter Rugg once again on that goal streak, and he's going to be a name that this team is going to look to rely upon with the struggles here early for Syracuse. And turned over again in the slot, a little tic-tac-toe action. Finta makes the save, back up, high slot, fired, blocked in front. And it looks like it's caught in the equipment of one of the Syracuse players, that being Quinn Weimer.
Stepped in front and tried to block the shot, ended up losing it somewhere in his clothing, but the result's the same. Way to step in front and block a great opportunity.
Face-off's going to be won by Stony Brook. Chipped out of the zone. That one played by Valenti. He'll find the stick of number 23, the captain, Connor Chesner, on a stretch pass to Jack Wren. Wren's got Cook. Backdoor if he can feed it over, but a good defensive stop by Trazera. Stops the chance and down the ice. Then we'll go for an icing. So a chance for Syracuse to get something to go here with an O-zone faceoff coming up.
It appeared to be maybe their most threatening chance at the top of the blue line, but it was instantly shut down by Trazera. Great defensive effort there. The former Trine University skater out of NCAA D3, now here playing for Stony Brook. The senior making his impact felt early in this one.
Yeah, coming from a Division III school, and Trine's a good NCAA school, and they have competed very well at the D3 rank. So getting a player from that type of level to your squad, I think really is just bonus points for this Stony Brook squad, who's already loaded with talent, especially from the NCDC level, the CCHL level, and the EHL level. So adding a guy from a already well-respected Division III school is only going to bolster your squad. The breakout begins for Syracuse. Nathan McLean looking to chip it up to Ben Brandt. This one is played back into the zone. No icing. Brendan Duffy in on the forecheck. That line will head to the bench for 8. Full line shift. And a turnover. Near side half wall. Puck picked up. DiNapoli around the end boards. Far side half wall, back down low. It's Anastasio. Wenrick from up top, blocked in front. Puck still loose. Held in possession by Stony Brook. Wenrick fires again from the near point. And blocked, and numbers coming back in favor of Syracuse. Played forward. Picked up Pendleton. Makes a move around one. He's knocked into the end boards by another. In front, a chance for the Orange. Pendleton, no goal. The save made by Reganato. Keeping the Orange off the score sheet. And Connor Chesner, the captain, cannot keep it alive. A quick entry by Jake Brown. The defense partner of Chesner fires wide. And Brown from the top of the circle near side sends it in. Kept alive by Quinn Weimer. And he'll take a trip up and out of play.
What an effort there by Henry Pendleton. Created this play initially by getting the puck loose to his teammate, comes back in front of him, and he almost had his 3rd goal of the season. The senior, only 2 points on the year, but impacts the game in many different ways outside the score sheet. You saw it right there. Didn't get on the score sheet, no, but that was a momentum-changing play for Syracuse. If they can ride the momentum from that opportunity, then they can maybe find themselves on the score sheet eventually.
Puck loose in the slot, and you talk about Pendleton. Again, a 4th liner. Doesn't not get a lot of time compared to the top 3 lines above him, but he does the most with the limited amount of time that he sees on the ice, and he's one of those players that can play the full length of the ice. He can play in the D zone, and he can create and get chances going in the O zone.
Yeah, and I mean, you saw that on that last play. The play started in the back end and went all the way up the ice. He was there the whole way, making plays, moving the puck. Icing for the Orange, now bouncing it back down in front of Finta. He's made only 2 saves tonight. You'd definitely like to see him get a few shots that he can easily turn away to get going.
Off the face-off, blocked in front by tonight's extra skater, that being number 11, Jacob Von Tersch. Played forward. Here we go, Bradley Parker. To the slot, plays it low. That one blocked. Carter Rugg. Loses possession of that one. And Chesner had his man lined up. That being Lorenzo Mara. He scored the opening goal in this period and had a chance, and you know, the captain was not going to let him have that one.
No, he just scored his 9th goal, 21st point of the season. He was not trying to get taken off on a stretcher before he hits 10. That was going to be a big hit there from Chesner. A crafty touch of the puck to avoid the contact. But Syracuse does seem like they're coming into more of their own right now, skating with a little more confidence than they were before. It's showing in the offensive zone where they're more aggressive. It's showing in the defensive zone. Now they're lining up on their man more often. They're following the puck better. They're not getting as crossed up with the passes. It's really starting to come together for the Orange. It's just a matter of time, if they can keep this going, that they can start inching it back closer.
Chris Fanning back up top, a D-to-D pass. Quick chance in front. Cade Cook cannot jam it home on the doorstep. And coming back with a 3-on-3 even numbers is Stony Brook. This one sent back in around the end boards to the near side half wall. And the Orange pick up the puck. Jack Wren takes a spill in front of the timekeeper's box. And an icing. And we got a special guest up here. It is Otto, the Orange. Otto, how are we doing? What's going on, Otto? And Otto, once again, we talked about him, how he's in attendance tonight, but it's awesome to see Otto, one of our favorite friends up here in the broadcast booth. Otto, what do you got to say to the fans? A little wave from Otto. Thank you once again, Otto, for coming up into the broadcast booth. Once again, Otto, the Orange, just knows how to put a smile on everyone's face.
I mean, he just shows up and everyone just gets happier, and he's got that effect.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about it, he's all over the place, and, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if he was at the men's basketball game, you know, against Virginia earlier today that did not go so well, but, I mean, he just seems to be everywhere by that, you know, snap of a finger.
Yeah, unfortunately, Otto doesn't always equal wins like in that men's basketball game earlier. Hopefully he's got some good luck now.
We'll see if that could mean an automatic win for the Orange if he is in attendance. And now coming back, Ben Brandt dancing. Puck loose in front, Duffy on the doorstep, and Ben Brandt scores! Cleaning up the second chance opportunity. And the Orange are on the board, back within one.
Well, this was one of the top things we were talking about. Ben Brandt on a 4-game point streak. Well, make it 5. Syracuse have been doing all the right things, and it was a great offensive possession there from Brandt. Puts a shot on net, allows his teammate to go and crash, causes chaos. That's what you need to get goals, especially when you're down. It's not about the flash. It's about putting the puck in dirty areas and finding a way to score. Puck still loose. Brandt crashes and gets his 3rd goal on the season versus Stony Brook. He also has the last 3 Syracuse goals versus the Seawolves.
That being the 15th goal of the season by Ben Brandt. The Orange back within one, and a broken stick here for Stony Brook. We'll see if Syracuse can take advantage. Delayed offside. Puck back in possession for the Seawolves, and on a stretch pass will connect with number 13, Nakagawa. But the Orange pick up the puck and send it back in for themselves, and a nice job on the forechecking effort, forcing Reginado to cover it up for the Ozone faceoff.
Yeah, it was Matthew Anastasio who went, it looked like he hit the glass in between the penalty box and the bench. He looked very shaken up on the ground there. We'll see if they take a look at him at all. Looks like he might have had his bell rung a little bit there, though.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye out for him. Obviously, wish the best, and that was a scary slide into the boards. And obviously, you never want to see a player just again lose an edge and go into the boards like that. Just definitely not a position you want to find yourselves in. With 6:35 to go from the Tennity Ice Pavilion, once again alongside Carter Masterson. I'm Evan Harrington. You are tuned into the SU Hockey Network. And now Quinn Weimer, near side corner below to Parker, centers it in front. And that one will find its way to the far point, back over to the near dot. Weimer and Parker trying to get something going here, and Parker behind the back, the shot from Rugg, and it's in! Carter Rugg continues to stay hot, and the Orange tied up at 2.
Well, that's the two players we mentioned now. It was Carter Rugg and it was Ben Brandt. We said they were going to be the key pieces to have success today. That is now 4 games in a row with a goal for Carter Rugg, his 7th on the season. What an excellent shot that was, an absolute snipe. But once again, it was Syracuse just creating chances that created the better chance. Threw pucks on net, it was still loose. They work it around the net, pass up to the middle, and they find Rugg in a very dangerous position, and he makes the Seawolves pay.
The Mass native, the junior, gets the Orange back. In this one, we're tied 2-2, 5:55 to go. Parker getting the apple. And what an addition Bradley Parker has been to this lineup ever since playing his first game against Oswego 7 games ago. And he scored, and he's been about a half point per game player, and he's made his impacts made.
Yeah, I mean that he's been playing with Rugg as well. So I mean, when your line is hot, typically you are as well, and that they're just playing very well together right now.
And now the captain, Connor Chesner, sends it up. Will find Chris Fanning, but he's muscled off the puck. Chesner lays a body, will swing it over from far side to near side. Cade Cook drops it off. As Jack Wren looks to keep possession, tied up here near side half wall. Wren dancing. Poked off his stick, we'll find Sean Caddo. Then over to Robbie Murphy. Caddo, one of the alternate captains on this Syracuse Orange squad. And that puck just flung all the way down the ice, no direction. It will go for an icing.
Just loving the Syracuse effort right now. When you have such a slow start, it's really easy to let it build, especially when you're on a 6-game losing streak. But this is just a testament to good coaching and tough players. When you can go out there, get in a hole early when you're already in a hole mentally, and then go back out there and just reset like it didn't ever happen, that is very impressive. And it's basically, you know what they say, 0-0 ball game now. And just 10 minutes ago, it was 2-0 Stony Brook.
It's pretty much a clean slate up to now, and tied 2-2, a 2-on-1 McLean. That one deflected up high. He had Duffy with him, and that would have erupted the Tennity Ice Pavilion if McLean could have gotten that one to go. But McLean back to Duffy. Duffy has that one knocked off his stick. Taken back by Kowalski, but McLean strips Kowalski of the puck, and McLean surveying his options. He'll find Ben Brandt, who scored the opening goal for Syracuse to get them back within 1. But Smith, he'll find the trailer. Dancing in front, Finta denies it on the doorstep. And another quick chance from the near point by Trezera. And Trezera just fires it in on goal again, but Finta getting a little bit more comfortable here, making a couple of big-time saves.
Yeah, Stony Brook's definitely starting to it looks like this game's starting to even out here, and now finally play. Had the big swing from the Seawolves, big swing from the Orange. I now expect it to be a pretty back-and-forth game. I mean, that's what we've seen from both of these squads in every game that they've played, other than that playoff blowout from the Orange last year. I mean, all the other ones one-goal games.
3:35 to go in the first period. We're tied at 2-2 on the SU Hockey Network. This puck bounced forward. It'll be taken back by DeSaro. Tied up for the time being, but poked forward by Stony Brook, that being Kormanek. Trickles back out to the neutral zone, and Trezera, he's pressured, but plays it up forward to DeSaro. Both teams just kind of exchanging possessions here over the last 30 seconds, but the Orange send it in, looking to get things going with under 3 to go. That being Aiden Emery. Down low, and will find Fanning, who looks to wrap around. That puck was on the doorstep, may have gotten as close to sitting on the goal line, but it's covered up by Reginado for the whistle.
Stony Brook needs to find a way to be more concise in front of their net and around their net in general. Too many chances are coming in on the goalie, Reginado, and he's allowing some rebounds, yeah, but they're not always his fault. I mean, he's getting peppered from tough angles, and it's just not, his defense hasn't been there to help him out as much as he needs them to.
Dinopoli wins the face-off against Parker. The pass over from the far side, Dot. And that's knocked off his post. Finta made the save. Whistle's blown. Looks like no penalties will be exchanged, but a face-off coming up for Stony Brook.
Stony Brook has been so good on the rush. They've gotten that 2-on-1, 3-on-2. They've just got numbers multiple times today. I think that's probably the 5th or 6th time they've had a rush going the other way. Syracuse is starting to do a little bit better job at defending it, but too often there's a wide open shot coming from the slot right now. I know it's a very tough situation to be put into, but you got to find a way to not be in that situation.
2:30 to go. We're tied 2-2. Back entering the zone is going to be Jake Brown, but he lost the puck for a second, going off sides, and Otto the Orange is there to make sure that he knows it.
Letting him hear it right there, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Sure he's loving that.
Yeah, you can see a little bit of a smile from not only number 14 in Jake Brown, but Stony Brook having a little bit of laughs with that, knowing that, man, what time you go off sides, and you got your own team's mascot, and Otto the Orange just letting you hear it. And out of the goal, just Reginado almost setting his team up for disaster, but the defense was there to help him out, and Cade Cook picks up the loose puck, looks to cycle it back down, does so for the time being.
We saw Reginado do that earlier, come out of the net and cause a near disaster. Well, it's something to watch going forward.
Yeah, no, definitely something to watch, and you'll see that time to time with some of these netminders. They'll get a little overconfident, I'll say, in times with how they play the puck, and that's not a bad thing, but it also could hurt you if you misplay it at the wrong time. Jack Wren pops it up into the air. Coming back, taken by Anastasio. We'll play it off to Mara once again, who scored the opening goal in this game to break it open, not even 2 minutes in. Cade Cook at the far dot. Cook tied up, far corner. Muscled off the puck, looking to join the fray is his line mate. That being Chris Fanning. And now Nathan McLean plays it over to Jack Duffy. One-time look by Ryan Thomas. And it's blocked off the body of Justin Nakagawa, the forward, making a big-time defensive stop here late.
This SU forecheck is playing at a very impressive level right now. For the past 5 or 10 minutes, they've been getting in passing lanes. They've been taking the puck off the stick of Stony Brook defenders, and it's been really impressive to watch. It was at the start of the game, they were getting a little over-aggressive coming out of their zone, and they're still being a little too aggressive, but it's been working. They've been hunting the puck, and they're doing a great job at it.
This puck just sent all the way down the length of the ice. And it will go for an icing. 48 seconds to go in the first. Once again, we're tied at 2-2. Syracuse leading in shots 9-8, and a chance here to get something to go late in this tied first period with the ozone drought coming up.
Yeah, in the 2 games previous, it's been one team outshoots the other by a pretty substantial mark, and the last time it was almost 10. The time before that, approaching 20. 17 was the difference there. We'll see if this is a more closely contested one in terms of shots.
And speaking of outshooting opponents, we talked about the 6-game losing streak for the Orange. They outshot their opponents 242-166, despite losing all 6 of those games to where they outshot their opponents. And this one just flipped down the length of the ice, caught in stride. That's going to be Nathan McLean. 20 seconds to go. McLean stops, starts again. He'll survey. Far side half wall. He'll find Ryan Thomas. Point shot deflected wide by Reginato. 10 seconds to go. Thomas will find his defense partner in Duffy, and Brendan Duffy can't get it in over the line, and that will do it for period at number 1. At the end of the first 20 played, Syracuse and Stony Brook tied 2-2.
Sorry. Orange had a great end to that period there. Stony Brook with the good start. We'll see how this one goes, but they're even in shots now, even in goals. Lots more hockey to be played here, but a tightly contested first period.
And stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few moments for our intermission recap here on the SU Hockey Network. Once again, alongside Carter Masterson, I'm Evan Harrington. We'll see you real soon. After the first 20 minutes played, it's 2-2 here for the Tennity Ice Pavilion between Syracuse and Stony Brook. Welcome back into the side of the broadcast booth alongside Carter Masterson. My name is Evan Harrington, and Carter, we thought that the first 10 minutes of this first period with Stony Brook going up 2-0 quickly could have been the full 20, but what a last 10 minutes by the Orange, bouncing back and getting 2 goals to tie it up.
Yeah, I mean, SU looked really sloppy through the first 10 minutes. It was not their best performance by any means, but we saw them come into their own on the defensive zone of the puck. They were giving up less big chances, or big, like 2-on-1s, 3-on-2s. They were giving up less of those, and when they were defending them a little bit better. But on the offensive zone, it was actually, that was what was most impressive. They were going to pucks, they were attacking puck lanes, and they were getting shots on net, which resulted in goals.
And the 2 players we talked about in the open, that being Ben Brandt and Carter Rugg, both slotted the goals for the Orange, and they continue to stay hot.
Well, I mean, we told you who to watch out for, and we were right on the money there. They continue their hot streaks, and we talk about playing your best hockey down the stretch. It's very important to be playing well the whole year, sure, but it's most important in these last couple games to get on a heater heading into the playoffs. That's when you want to be playing your best puck, and it's safe to say that those 2 fellas are.
All right, we'll be set for second period puck drop in just about 3 minutes, so stay tuned. Once again, thank you for tuning in to the intermission recap. We'll be back right on the SU Hockey Network in a couple of moments. Welcome back into the Tennity Ice Pavilion here on the SU Hockey Network alongside Carter Masterson. My name is Evan Harrington, and we talked about it in the intermission recap, but what a final 10-minute stretch for the Orange. They were down 2-0 in the first half, the first period, but battling back, and they look to continue that momentum into the second.
Well, in the first game they played, it was 1-1 after the first. The second game they played, it was 0-0 after the first. Now it's 2-2. So it's always been tied heading out of the first period, which I guess would be a good sign for Syracuse in this case, considering they've won the other games. But Syracuse in both got down in the second period in one of them and got up in the second period in the other one. It's the second period. It's in the middle of the opening and the ending, which seemed like the most important. But the second period, this is where rubber meets the road. This is where your team is going to find out if they can carry that momentum that comes in, or if it's just a completely new hockey game. I mean, we just got a 14-minute intermission after a wild first 20 minutes. Anything can happen here. It's basically a fresh game.
The goal scorers for Syracuse being number 37, Ben Brandt, who got them back within one. It was Carter Rugg, now on a 4-game goal streak, who tied it up. Face-off won by the Orange to start the second period, but a turnover from Jake Brown. And now coming back. Stony Brook regroups. A turnover in the neutral zone will allow Cade Cook and Aiden Emery to get things going. As Pendergrass, his shot is blocked. And we'll find Chesner. Near point look, deflected up and out of play by Jake Brown. Not even 30 seconds into this one, the Orange will have an offensive zone face-off coming up to the right of the netminder, Steven Reginato.
It's not crucial to get out there and score early. Sometimes these games go without long periods of no goals. So the next goal, it's important, but it doesn't need to come now. But the quicker you get on them, the quicker you can help bury the Stony Brook team. They're already reeling a bit right now after they gave up 2 straight. Now's a chance to really take that momentum and carry it.
And Ryan Thomas will play this one down low, and Brendan Duffy looking to come out of the pile, but he tripped himself up, and in the neutral zone, starting the rush, Colin Wenrick, who scored the second goal for Stony Brook. And as that one knocked off his stick, in a quick chance off a turnaround shot from the point by Kormanek. Caught Finza off guard, but he had enough awareness to make the save for the time being. Anastasio plays it over, a little tic-tac-toe action. Finta diving on the loose puck, and the ref will signal the whistle. But what a passing sequence by Stony Brook. They started near point, worked it over to the far side corner, and somehow ended up with a backdoor look, but Finta denied the look.
I talked a lot about Syracuse's rotations in the first period. That time, it wasn't the rotations that went wrong. Defender lost his stick, goes out to challenge, just couldn't get a stick on it. Puck would have been out of the zone. Instead, now it drifts back in. Stony Brook gets a chance. Finta makes an amazing save. That's now 9 saves in a row since he gave up 2 goals in his first 4 shots.
Face off to the left of AJ Finta. It's going to be played into the neutral zone, taken back by Anastasio. In over the line. Near side half wall in on goal, and Finta will elect to just glove it for the whistle. 18:35 to go here in the second period. Once again, we're tied 2-2 here on the SU Hockey Network. If you are just tuning in, Syracuse back at home after a 7-game road trip and trying to snap a 6-game losing streak. Puck below the goal. Picked up near side. That's Mara. Lorenzo Mara opened the scoring in the first period, not even 2 minutes in for Stony Brook. In a look from the far point, deflected down and on a stretch pass, looking for Cade Cook. Can't get it to go. Will be played back in the Syracuse defensive zone. Robbie Murphy will find Jack Wren. No team can hold clear possession, but it's going to be played over as Hyde centered it out for Kormanek. And just a great save by Finta to keep this game tied 2-2.
There was a little bit of confusion there between Murphy and Cotto. Murphy was hesitant on whether he should go play the puck or sit back and wait for it, and he made the right choice and chose to sit back and wait for it. Cotto got a little out of position, started pushing for the puck a little bit, and that's why his man was able to beat him to the back post.
And we're talking about it now and how great the rush chances have been all game for Stony Brook, but a lot of them have come off of Syracuse turnovers, and especially in their own D zone and in the neutral zone. That last one, a neutral zone turnover, That was a negative against Syracuse.
Yeah, they've struggled to get it across the red line. They've also been trying to make a lot of stretch passes that haven't been there, which has been why they've had such a hard time getting it out of their D zone.
This one played near side neutral zone. Into the Syracuse zone, Finta out of the goal. Plays it up, and the transition begins for Syracuse. That being Carter Rugg plays it over below the goal. Chesner looks to keep it alive, far point in front of the orange bench. That's going to be Bradley Parker. He finds Quinn Weimer. Taken away and exited out of the zone by Stony Brook. Looking to glove it down. There was Lorenzo Mara. Can't get it to go, and Weimer smartly just plays this one directly in on goal, allowing the Orange to get a full line shift. But a stretch pass will connect with number 96, that being Matthew Anastasio. And the Orange dumped this one back in. That was Aiden Emery. Eli Pendergrass, a beautiful backhand pass from low to high, but no one there to receive the beautiful feed from number 29. And Pendergrass will take that puck up high. And back in over the line, Peter LeBose will fire that one from an unorthodox angle. Finta got the shoulder high, makes the save. Chop down low, and we'll find the stick of LeBose. But all the way down the ice for an icing. Syracuse not too pleased with that, as a couple of the players that were headed to the bench thought that puck was over the center ice line, but guess not.
We don't get the greatest view from up here. It was really close. But better safe than sorry in that situation. But once again, they just couldn't get it out of the D zone. They're having a really tough time at getting the puck going the other way. Now it's a little more understandable. They got some tired legs out there.
Yeah.
Going to be really important to win this faceoff and get the puck going the other side of the ice.
And that's something that we highlighted in the first period, and we're seeing a continued story in the second. And they're just having struggles in the defensive zone, not only guarding this Stony Brook offense, but just battling for pucks and trying to get their transition game going down the full 200-foot length of the ice. And Ryan Thomas and Jack Duffy, the defense pair that could bring the puck up the ice if they have the opportunity to do so. Arguably the two best skating defensemen for Syracuse, but puck tied up on the near side half wall. And it's taken back to Sorrow. Centers it out in front. Finta with the pad save. Stops the look out in front. The Orange cannot get this puck out. Haskins keeps it alive. Sorrow will just wrap this one back around, and a look in front. Finta out of the goal, puck on the doorstep, and it went right through the wickets of Malik. Stony Brook still holds. This Orange defense is tired, and they finally get it down the length of the ice. And the puck dies out, so no icing, allowing the Orange to get a much-needed change.
That was a beautiful dump right there.
But Mara touches it up, no icing. Stony Brook quickly back into the offensive zone, but this one shipped forward. And Brendan Duffy, a full head of steam, wins his race, finds Nathan McLean. Back down low, Brendan Duffy. McLean fires it across the crease, can't get it to go. Ben Brandt has that one knocked off his stick. Robbie Murphy backhands it back into the zone. And losing an edge, the blue line monster got him. That was Justin Nakagawa. And he had a look as the blue line monster tripped him up. Ben Brandt battling near side half wall alongside Robbie Murphy. Puck trickles out to the neutral zone. Brendan Duffy. Once again, we talked about those beautiful military appreciation night jerseys that the Orange are wearing, and it's a great spectacle. Especially up here in the broadcast booth, we get a great look at them.
Yeah, and they are a thing of beauty. I might need one of those.
Yeah, we'll have to see if they're selling the jerseys after. This one sent back in. Jack Wren first on it for the Orange. Wren looking to play it to Jake Brown, but he'll find the captain, Connor Chesner, who backhands it in on goal. And Chesner, a full out of steam, the captain looks to stay with it. Back to his defense partner, and Jake Brown, who fires it in on goal, deflected and blocked. Mara in over the line, and that one called for an offsides. The delay stops Stony Brook. And with 12:50 to go, this face-off will come back into the neutral zone right in front of us.
Well, we went a long time whistle to whistle there, but Stony Brook had a flurry of chances there, and it was Syracuse is just we're giving up too many chances on the back door. Stony Brook is doing a great job at moving pucks around and finding a way to get a guy open in the dirty areas.
DiNapoli will fire that one. 12:45 to go. Finta covers up.
15 saves in a row now for the senior goalie after his rough start. Really coming into his own versus a team he's had a lot of success against this year.
Yeah, and that's what you're going to need out of AJ Finta, not only in this game, but the next few coming down the stretch here, because Finta is the go-to guy for Syracuse. Head coach Chris Timmons mentions it all the time. He's a goalie that they look to work and be that workhorse for them in between the pipes, and that being an every week basis. And he has continued success against Stony Brook. A rough start, but he's finding that success here, as you mentioned, saving his last 15.
Well, the faith that Chris Timmons has in AJ Finta shows in the numbers. 19 starts on his record compared to just 2 for Angelino and 3 for Lawrence.
Yeah, so once again, the go-to guy, and he's probably going to be the goalie more times than not that we'll see every single game here, through the rest of the regular season. And Finta gives that one up. We were just talking about it. But on the second chance opportunity, it was Hudson DiNapoli who just slides it in. And DiNapoli just shutting down Finta after what was a good last 25 minutes of play from the netminder.
11 points on the season now for DiNapoli, but that's just his second goal on the campaign. Really worked hard there, got 2 shots off. I think it might have even been the third that squeaked in. He was really working there. Pepper and Finta made 2 good saves, or at least 1 good save. When it's getting jabbed at, it's really not much you can do.
12:15 left in the second. Hudson DiNapoli breaks the drought.
Stony Brook goal scored by number 19, Hudson DiNapoli. Assisted by number
And DeSaro
Nate Legret, and by number 2, Joey
takes out the
Truscott.
legs of Carter Rugg.
Time of the goal, 7 minutes and 40 seconds of the second period.
No call. And speaking of another goal scorer, that'd be number 44, Colin Wenrich. He plays this one in for Paul DeSaro. The whistle has been not so evident in this game so far. Only 1 penalty that was against Syracuse in the first period, but just about halfway through this one, and the refs are letting both of these teams play.
And that is very different from what we've seen in their previous matchups. 13 penalties the last time these two teams played. That's combined. 8 for Stony Brook, 5 for Syracuse. It was 8 total penalties in the game before that. So these two teams, it's typically been one where they send a lot of guys to the box, but it's been clean hockey today. Lots of scoring too. All even strength other than the quick power play goal.
Face off to the left of Finta. That was Ben Brandt looking to get it out. Puck tied up below the goal. Connor Chesner out there battling a multitude of Stony Brook Seawolves, and Ben Brandt just trying to dive to get this puck out, and now a 2-on-1 in play for the Orange. Brendan Duffy will have to regroup, and he'll play it to Jake Brown in on goal, and the save made by Reganato.
Penalty coming here on Stony Brook.
It's going to be a tripping call. Good eye. We talked about it. The officials have let things go for the most part, but a tripping penalty will be assessed here to Stony Brook's number 15, that being Cooper Smith.
Well, we jinxed Finta, and now we jinxed the penalties. Second penalty of the day. Syracuse's first time to get this power play rolling. something interesting, their power play much better at home than on the road. 31% at home, 21% on the season, which means that road really, really struggling there.
Yeah, and speaking of struggling, going back to that 6-game losing streak, the Syracuse Orange power play, 2 of its last 18 through that 6-game losing streak, and they're looking to rely on that home power play percentage. Down 1. Stony Brook leading 3-2. 20 seconds into the man advantage. Ryan Thomas near side half wall. He'll have it once again. He'll play it up top. That being Jack Duffy spinning away. That's Ben Brandt. Brandt scored the first goal of the game for Syracuse to get them back within 1. Looks to play it across to Thomas. That one poked off his stick, and now back in over the line. Nathan McLean, this one looking to be centered out in front. And it just misses the intended target.
We talk about how sharp Brandt's been. He almost had Duffy right there for what would have been a big-time goal for SU. Just couldn't connect on the pass.
And now the first unit is done for the Orange. The second unit out onto the ice. Carter Rugg scored a second goal of the game to tie it up in the first period for Syracuse. He's on that 4-game goal streak, and he'll play it over. Connor Chesner walks in, the captain. Rugg on the one-time look on the rebound. Just high, 40 seconds left in the man advantage. The captain, Connor Chesner, down low. Back over to Chesner, near dot. Chesner walks in. That one blocked and saved, made by Reganado down the length of the ice. 30 seconds to go. We'll find Chesner. Back over to Bradley Parker. Parker, full out of steam, in over the line. Parker flips it below the goal line to himself. Parker gets possession, 15 seconds left in the man advantage. Chesner back over to Cook. Near dot, Chesner up top. Trying to feed it across the slot. That was Chesner, turns it over. That will do it. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey. The Syracuse power play now 2 of its last 19. Just not the percentage to be at. And now a 3-on-2 with Kate Cook on the back check. A low angle look by Labos. And it's centered back out in front. Batted at. Robbie Murphy ties his man up, and the Orange look to just get this one out. Haskins at the near point keeps it alive. And Labos just cannot hold possession. Haskins will flip it back in for Stony Brook with 8:30 to go in the second. And a turnover in front, but Jake Brown does enough to just poke it forward, and he'll find Pendleton and company up the ice, but what could have been another scary situation for the Orange. And now in over the line, Eli Pendergrass. He'll play it over and around the end boards. Aiden Emery. As everyone taken off his stick. Jake Brown looking to play it out in front and take it back. Mara, who scored the opening goal of this game, looking to dance around Jacob Von Tersch, but Von Tersch, the extra skater, does a beautiful job of winning his battle one-on-one. And a little trickery here, in over the line. Mara to hide, in front centered. And Finta got a stick on it to negate the look. As possession still in favor of Stony Brook. That being Robert Hyde. Far point back down to Mara. Mara, he'll lose an edge, but he keeps it in possession. Once again, the Stony Brook squad finding new ways to get creative, but the Orange shut it down for the time being. Ben Brandt stops, starts in front. McLean had the look, but he's going to regroup, and he'll find Duffy. Up high, far point, puck's loose in front. On the doorstep, Syracuse denied. Puck still loose, and it's finally whistled. What a paddle save by the Seawolves netminder in Steven Reginato. He just denied the orange on the doorstep.
That was so close. It looked, for me, like I thought it squeaked in there for a second, but no goal to call. Great play there by Reginato to keep this one a 3-2 game in favor of the Seawolves. It was the other way for Stony Brook. They had a lot of success over the past couple minutes, getting great looks. Once again, it was Finta making save after save, but first grade A chance going the other way for Syracuse, and they almost capitalize.
And just once again, simply phenomenal by Reginato, just to get his paddle on the goal line and just right on the crease, just to negate that look. And that's been kind of the story of this one too. It's the Orange have had some chances, but Reginato's made some great saves to, keep them up by 1. Delayed offsides allows Stony Brook to come back, that being Trazera. But the Orange in quickly. Jack Wren to Cade Cook. Gets a chance in on goal.
Bad change for Syracuse, almost just turned into a goal-scoring opportunity. They gave Stony Brook the numbers after they got off a little bit late, but turned out that maybe it was supposed to work out like that. Defense makes a good play, feeds it up, and creates a great look. Looks like the forward wasn't trying to put it on net there, but no rebound opportunity allowed up by Reginato.
It resulted in an O-zone face-off that Syracuse cannot take advantage of. This puck sent down the length of the ice, and it will go for an icing with 5:45 to go in this second period. Stony Brook leads the Orange 3-2. An O-zone face-off coming up, and a chance for Syracuse to spark something here in the late stages of the period.
Although Stony Brook leads this game on the scoreboard, on the ice it feels like it's still tied. Both of these teams going for every loose puck like it is the last play of the game.
And Jack Wren disrupts the Stony Brook breakout. Looking to get a turnover, does so. He has Cade Cook with him. The puck trickles out of the zone, but fired quickly back in by Jake Brown. And this puck will take a ride as it's flipped out by Stony Brook inside the middle of the neutral zone. Jack Wren once again disrupting play. Forces the turnover. But once again, taken back by Stony Brook. And the thing in this game, Carter, is that anytime Syracuse gets the puck and they are looking to create something offensively, their offensive possession time is very slim comparative to Stony Brook's.
Yeah, it's been Stony Brook establishing themselves in the zone and creating chances that will last. It's been Finta turning them away to the corners. Stony Brook's been able to recycle and get more opportunities. For Syracuse, it's been short bursts.
And back in the offensive zone is Syracuse, looking to sustain more offensive zone time. But going back to that point, they turn it over, but they pick up the turnover from Stony Brook. Robbie Murphy in on goal is deflected by Emery. And almost a look that could have gotten them back into this game. But that deflected wide. It will find the stick of Bradley Parker, who plays it forward. And let's just have to chase after his own pass, as that missed the intended target. And Sean Caddo jumped the play, but it's taken back, and here comes Stony Brook in transition. That's Labos. Alongside Parker. 3:50 to go. A chance for Chris Fanning. Excuse me. That being Quinn Weimer. 3:35 to go. Shot in on goal. Robbie Murphy from the near point. That one deflected back to the stick of Fanning. And Sean Caddo, the alternate captain, cannot keep it alive. That puck off his stick, but now back in over the line. Carter Rugg will find Parker. Centers it in on goal, but it's sent down the length of the ice by Stony Brook. Jack Duffy, the first to touch it up, resulting in an icing. 3:08 to go. The Orange back with an offensive zone face-off coming up.
Good shift from freshman Robbie Murphy there. Fired 2 shots off from the point. Both got one and got on net all on its own, and one got the tip from Jack Wren. Almost tied this one up, a matter of inches. It was a great save by Regnato to keep this one 3-2. Ever since Stony Brook's retaken this league, he has been on fire.
And Jack Duffy looking to center that into the slot. That misses the intended target, kept alive by Duffy. At the point, we'll find Ryan Thomas, his one-timer deflected. Back to the far side corner, 2:50 to go. Back to Duffy, far point, centers it out in front, a trickling puck. Will find its way below the goal. That being Brendan Duffy now. Over to Nathan McLean. Ben Brandt below the goal. He scored the first goal of the game for the Orange to get them back within one in that first period. Ryan Thomas joining the offensive attack, and Brandt, the quick release, puck's loose in front, and the whistle blows, and a couple of exchanges thrown after.
Equipment flying on the ice here. The goalie's blocker's out. We got 3 sticks on the ice, and 2 skaters still going at it here. Can't see the number there.
Yeah, you can already see number 18, Nathan McLean, going to the penalty box. He knows it. We'll see. There's going to be multiple penalties for sure coming here.
DiNapoli, the guilty party for Stony Brook there. And I believe engaging with DiNapoli, it was either...
It'd like to be Ryan Thomas.
Yeah. I was going to say either Ryan Thomas or Duffy. I couldn't tell which one.
Wenrich for Stony Brook, and also number 19, that being DiNapoli. We don't...
This would make sense to me because the first bout was between McLean and number 40. That was between McLean and Wenrich. They skated away. Then it was Hudson DiNapoli who came back in and re-engaged a little bit with either it was Ryan Thomas or Brendan Duffy and ended up throwing some shots, getting to the ground. Bad visual for the referees if they see someone on top throwing shots.
And especially with the camo jerseys that the Orange have on, how do they really know if it was Syracuse? I mean, technically, they're camouflaged.
Could be anyone.
Could be John Cena.
Yeah, who knows? Unfortunately, the orange, blue, white pattern doesn't blend great into the ice, so it might not be as effective for them there.
Yeah.
If it happened on the S in the middle, I think it might have paid off.
Absolutely. And something to note is there are 2 players for Stony Brook in the box up to this point, only one, that being Nathan McLean for the Orange. So we'll see what the officials' full gathering and explanation of what we just saw is, and you'll see that both respected captains of each team, that being Connor Chesner for Syracuse, and also number 76, that being William Formanek for Stony Brook, discussing with the head official about what is taking place, what may take place. And yeah, here we go off the Orange bench. Looks like Ryan Thomas will be joining his teammate Nathan McLean into the box. And that's what I thought, because Ryan Thomas was one of the 2 players that were just in that exchange on top of one another right in front of the netminder, Regnato. And Thomas is exiting the ice. And we'll have to keep an eye on this. I mean, we'll see what the penalty is. More likely than not, a game misconduct. But if they lose Ryan Thomas for this game, I mean, that is a huge blow.
Yeah, second highest points scoring defenseman on this Syracuse team. Played on that second pairing right next to Duffy, but luckily for them, Jacob Von Tersch, the extra skater, is a defenseman, has played some minutes already, and has looked good. We've said his name a few times. He's been a good job lifting sticks and getting in the way. But it is going to be a 5-minute major on Thomas, and that is a game changer for sure.
Yeah, so it's going to be 5-minute major, as you mentioned. So looking back to the point, it looks like Stony Brook potentially will get a power play. We'll see what the full ruling is.
it appears that they'll put 2 penalties
Yeah.
on the books, but not on the boards, and they'll play 4v4. Although, and now stepping in to take the penalty for Thomas, Quinn Weimer.
Yeah. So we'll have 4-on-4 hockey here for essentially the remainder of the second period. 2:20 to go. And as soon as that penalty expires, we will see Stony Brook on power play, as that will end the second period. But Jake Brown slicing and dicing the defense, puck into the slot. It will find its way right in front of the orange bench and played out by Stony Brook, who creates a 2-on-1. Quick shot, Finta with the save on Lorenzo Mora, who was looking for his second of the game.
That is a big save right there. Hustle effort from Brant after he got himself out of position. That was what we were talking about earlier. Too aggressive on the forecheck there. Defense got to drop there. Take the 2-on-2. It's okay if they take possession there. Giving them a 2-on-1 is just something that cannot happen right now, especially when you're down a goal and just took a 5-minute major.
And we've seen a lot of rush chances from both teams 5-on-5, but now with both teams losing a skater, that ice is only going to open up more with 4-on-4 play.
And passing advantage goes to Stony Brook pretty in a major fashion from what we've seen so far.
And that being the captain, Cormanic. Up top, back near side half wall. And we're back down looking for Cormanic. Cormanic muscled off the puck. 1:15 to go in the second. 45 seconds left of 4-on-4 play. Jack Wren. We're going to power his way in on goal. He'll stop at the near side half wall. A minute left in the period. Jack Wren picks up the puck once more. Duffy looks to jump on it in the slot and fires just wide. He caught the netminder, Regginato, off guard, but just missed the inside post. 40 seconds left. And a surprising no trip call. Syracuse looking to take advantage. Ben Brandt quickly in over the line from the far dot. The save made by Regginato in an O-zone. Draw coming up before Syracuse will go to the penalty kill.
Tough sequence of events there for Stony Brook. They had numbers. Syracuse had a brutal change. 1 guy on the ice and 2 forwards were up at the red line. Defender, I don't know if he didn't pick his head up or didn't see it, but didn't make the pass. Syracuse was able to recover, then may have gotten away with a trip there. Stick was near the skates. Skater went down. Typically, you see that called. Not today.
Brendan Duffy loses that puck. Coming back is Stony Brook, and a offside call there, and kind of a whistle that if you're Syracuse, you're going to take, not only because they're not in your O-zone, but there's 1 second left before Stony Brook takes the power play, and they have a chance to win the draw and fire this puck down the ice to get some time off the clock before we head to the third.
Yeah, big draw here with you mentioned with only 25 seconds left. If you can get a clearance all the way down, they're only going to have 1 rush back up the other way.
And that puck will go down the length of the ice.
Well, that's step 1. Now you got to defend the 1 rush they get.
So Stony Brook will have about 15 seconds left here with the man advantage. They'll take the power play into the third period if they do not score here. And 8 seconds left. Pressuring below the goal. A wraparound attempt, and at the dying seconds, Finta denies the look by the captain, that being Cormanic. And we'll head to the third period with Stony Brook leading Syracuse 3-2.
It's one of those where it's a good thing they don't got goal line replay there, because it would have been close. It was right there. Finta got the skate to it, kept it out. Big time save there to keep it a 1-goal game heading into the third period. And it's all ahead of Syracuse. They know what they got to do. They got 2 minutes and 30 seconds of a penalty that must be killed. And then it's about finding the equalizer. 1-goal game. The next goal is huge. If it goes to 2 goals in the third period, I know they say 2-goal lead's the worst lead in hockey. You'll take it in the third period, especially against a team you have not beat in a very, very long time. Syracuse now looking for a chance to claw their way back into it. It's going to start with that PK, though.
Stay with us. We'll be right back in just a couple of moments for the intermission recap. Alongside Carter Masterson, my name's Evan Harrington here on the SU Hockey Network. played from the Tennity Ice Pavilion. Stony Brook leads Syracuse 3-2. Welcome back into the broadcast booth alongside Carter Masterson. My name's Evan Harrington, and it wasn't 3-2 Stony Brook throughout the entire second period until Hudson DiNapoli cashed in his second goal of the season to give the Seawolves a 3-2 advantage.
And it was a gritty goal right on the goal line. Had to try 2-3 times, got it past Finta, who has been up to task since a tough start to the game where he let in 2 of his first 4 shots. Since then, only 1 over the last 20. A lot better work from Finta here in the second period compared to the first, but he is really rolling heading into the big, crucial number 3rd.
And looking to roll heading into the third period will be Stony Brook, as they will have the man advantage for the next 2.5 minutes due to a 5-minute major penalty conceded by Ryan Thomas.
And you just need to be more disciplined in that scenario. I understand that this is a high-flying sport, and especially this game, it's been incredibly chippy, and there's been hits after the whistle, there's been pokes at the goalie, but in a game where you're losing, you just can't take that penalty. You can't take a 5-minute major in that situation. Syracuse now will have to dig themselves out of an already somewhat deep hole and see what they can do. A lot of time left in this one. 20 minutes can change a lot. We've seen these teams score in the third period the other 2 times they've met this season, so we'll see if that's in store here today as well.
Well, we'll see that in just about 3 minutes for third period puck drop. We will be back here on the SU Hockey Network. Stay tuned. We'll be back soon. Syracuse Orange return to the ice for the start of the third period once again alongside Carter Masterson. My name's Evan Harrington. Welcome back into the SU Hockey Network. Stony Brook leading the Orange 3-2. Carter, we talked about it in the intermission report on how Ryan Thomas took the 5-minute major, and we'll see the Seawolves with a 2.5-minute power play to begin the final period of play.
Ryan Thomas, it's a crucial penalty, especially because of who it occurs to. This defense has already been struggling at points throughout today. Ryan Thomas, one of the better defenders on this Syracuse team. It's going to be hard to play without him, but more importantly, it's going to be hard to play without anyone on the ice for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Syracuse has already struggled mightily on the penalty kill. Reminder, over their last 20 allowed penalties, they've given up goals on 8 of them. Now they've got more than the normal. Killed a little bit of it. There was about 25 seconds at the end of the period that were even strength. Now they've got 2 minutes and 35 of man advantage to handle. If they can keep it at a 3-2 game, this is anyone's game. If they go down, they are creating themselves a lot of work they need to do to get back into this one.
And losing Ryan Thomas down a goal, they also lose an offensive threat with 11 points on the season. Syracuse going left to right. The Seawolves right to left. Opening face-offs going to be won by Stony Brook. And they begin the third period once again on the man advantage due to the 5-minute major penalty taken by Ryan Thomas. This puck cleared out of the orange defensive zone. DeSaro in the neutral zone takes a spill. Looking to regroup. 30 seconds into period number 3. Colin Wenrich. He scored a goal in the first period, looking for another. Vinta denies him in the slot. Puck sent down the length of the ice. We'll see this Stony Brook power play regroup once more. That's Nakagawa. Sends it around the end boards. Finds the captain below the goal. Far side half wall for Nakagawa. Back over to the captain. Far side half wall. A minute 20 to go in the man advantage. And Finta on his backside makes the save on Nakagawa. Mara was there as well. Puck still below the goal and sent all the way into the orange bench. Either way, it was cleared. Not the intent that Syracuse had, but it stops the play, gets the whistle, and a minute 6 left in the man advantage.
That's all they needed right there. It was starting to come apart on them. A little bit tired legs from the first penalty kill unit. Finta made a great save there, but he was left out to dry a little bit. 3 Syracuse defenders were within arm's reach of each other. They just got to be a little bit more, or a little less predictable on the defensive end.
And the face-off won by Stony Brook. 55 seconds left in the man advantage. Will be played over by Robert Hyde. Back over to the far side half wall, circling and surveying. Back up top to Anastasio. Anastasio will hold this one, plays it down low. 30 seconds left in the man advantage. This one will find its way back to Hyde, who walks in. That one deflected off a body in front. And a nice job here by the Syracuse penalty kill. It slipped down the ice by Quinn Weimer. And this will be the final rush opportunity with the extra skater for the Seawolves, and that's Anastasio once more in over the line. Far side corner, Anastasio looking to center it to the slot. And out of the box, a chance here on the breakaway. Just cannot hold it. That's Brendan Duffy. The pass a little too out in front. What a chance that would have been out of the box.
I mean, that's the best way to score. You get a 1-on-0 that way. Doesn't happen that way where you get the timing right normally, but it worked there for Syracuse, almost finding the back of the net.
And Duffy will have this one as it's kept alive by Ben Brandt. Far side half wall, 16:45 to go. Ben Brandt, high slot shot. And the save made by the netminder, Steven Reganato. Once again, we highlighted him in the first period, a .903 save percentage, and playing a bulk of games here for the Seawolves so far this season. But ever since Syracuse had those 2 goals in the first, he's really locked in over the last period and a half.
Yeah, that strategy of throwing pucks on net and looking for rebounds was working earlier. I think now it's time for them to look more for that extra pass, find a more precise shot.
And looking for Weimer in front. Cannot get it to go. Cato fires that one from the near side as the puck trickles across the crease and sent it into the Seawolves bench this time. That was Jacob Von Tersch. 16:24 to go in the final period of play. Face-off will find its way to center ice. Not because of a goal scored, but because Jacob Von Tersch had a little friendly fire for the Stony Brook bench. And this puck deflects in. Cade Cook alone as he's met from behind. Puck tied up in the near side corner. Played over. Von Tersch from the far point. He shot in on goal. Played wide by Regginato. Cook looking to keep it alive, but it's sent up and forward by Malik. And a beautiful job dancing, a beautiful toe drag, and almost beating the netminder in AJ Finta was Paul DeSaro. That would have been a highlight reel goal. And Syracuse looking to exit their zone. The pressure being applied by Stony Brook, and Jack Wren lays a man out to get possession of the puck, and from an unorthodox angle gets the shot off. And the puck's covered up by Regginato, but a no-zone draw coming up for the Orange.
Yeah, Regginato kind of like speared that one from the side. That was definitely a weird angle to get a shot on net, but a shot is a shot. On the other end, it was Stony Brook. What a solo effort that was by Paul DeSaro. He was looking for his 19th goal on the year, and he almost had it. Amazing work by Finta.
And once again, if you are just joining into tonight's broadcast, the storyline of tonight's game was how Syracuse was on a 7-game road trip and that they're back to the Tennity Ice Pavilion for the first time, but it's a 6-game losing streak for the Orange. They're looking to snap it here in a conference matchup against Stony Brook. They're currently down 3-2. And looking to play it from low to high was Cade Cook. Can't get it to go. Now inside the orange zone, that's going to be Quinn Weimer. He's going to play it for Carter Rugg. Going to find the stick of Jack Duffy. Rugg sends it in, but this puck will be sent back out. Chesner finds Rugg. Once again, Carter Rugg scored the second goal for the Orange, which tied it up in the later stages of the first period. And now a stretch pass, almost looking to connect with Anastasio for a 2-on-1, but it'll just be a little too out in front. Go for an icing, 14:09 to go, and ozone draw coming up back here for Syracuse.
Both teams have struggled to connect on those stretch passes, but they've attempted their fair share of them, which is why we've seen, in turn, an uptick in icings. Both of these teams, they have a guy, they work through the neutral zone in a way where they'll lag off the puck and then create an angle for that stretch pass, but it's a tight angle, and that pass has to be right on the money, and a lot of times today it hasn't been.
Chesner from the near point, puck's loose in front on the doorstep, looking to jam it home, but I don't know how it did not go in. Regginato making save after save, and his catching glove comes off his hand, and that catches the eye of the official, resulting in the play dead.
I don't know what the official stats keepers will say, but that was either 3 or 4 shots right there, and it was just up to task. Was Steven Regginato each time through traffic. Some of them probably hit the defenders on the way in, but Syracuse once again just trying to capitalize in the dirty areas. They're creating their best chances and best scoring opportunities from there for sure, but they haven't got much else going outside of that. They've been relying a lot on that, and when those opportunities haven't been there, they've struggled to bury outside of that.
And that was against the top line for the Orange, with Ben Brandt centering it. That line continues to stay out there, and stripping Brandt of the puck was Mara. And Brandt pressured, and he'll fall, and turn it over inside his own defensive zone. Now possession for Stony Brook. That one just hops over the stick of Hyde. Now, Stony Brook looking to get a change here, a much needed one. They were just flying all up and down the ice for a couple of moments there. So we get a full line shift, and Syracuse looks to begin their breakout. But Cormanic, the captain for Stony Brook, forces the turnover. But coming back, Jack Wren. We'll find Aiden Emery over to Eli Pendergrass, the fourth line for the Orange out onto the ice. Far point shot, Von Hirsch. Back below the goal. Fanned on it by Pendergrass. And a turnover forced by Syracuse, Aiden Emery. First there for the Orange, but he's met from behind by Jackson Haskins. 12:40 to go. Once again, Syracuse down 3-2, looking for a goal here. Von Hirsch, far circle, puck deflected, loose in front, on the doorstep, and they can't capitalize on it. They'll have possession for the time being. Aiden Emery, near side corner. That's Sean Caddo, levels his man. They lose the puck, and that one sent down the length of the ice once again. Looking to beat it is Hyde for the icing. Can't do so. This one will come all the way back.
Some tired Seawolves on the ice now in the defensive end. It's been a really sloppy period so far. Neither team has been able to connect on the passes as much as they have been in previous periods. We know Syracuse has struggled with that for most of the game today, but Stony Brook has been really sharp. But over the past 3 or 4 minutes, their passes have not been connecting. They've been turning the puck over, trying to exit the zone. Mistakes they hadn't been making before.
Puck trickles inside the neutral zone, sent back in. There by Jack Duffy. And Chris Fanning will have possession here. Back to Duffy, who fires it in, tipped in by Cade Cook. Haskins plays it forward. Robbie Murphy looking to keep it alive in the zone for the time being. And it's taken away by Cade Cook, and he scores! A turnover inside the Stony Brook defensive zone allows Cade Cook to fire it from the far circle, and he ties it up at 3 apiece.
Third different line on the Syracuse offense to get involved in the scoring today. Cook with an absolute beauty, and it's what I was just talking about. Stony Brook not concise enough trying to move the puck out of their own zone. Too sloppy, too messy, and they lose control of it right in the slot. And he was not going to let them get away with that one. Cade Cook, 10th goal on the season, make it 14 points for the junior out of Fort Covington, New York.
And put your chef's hat on, because Cade is cooking. We're tied at 3 apiece. 11:30 to go in the final period of play. Nathan McLean in on the forecheck. Ben Brandt keeps it alive, ships it back below the goal line. Both battling for it. Brendan Duffy will have that one fire from the far side. Half wall, in on goal, and Reganato covers it up for the whistle.
That's always really helpful for a goalie when they get an easy save after letting one in. Right there, ramped off his own defender's stick right into his glove. Something easy for him to get his momentum back under his feet, because he was playing a fantastic stretch of hockey there from the end of the first period until right now in the third. He went almost 30 minutes without allowing a goal.
McLean wins the faceoff against Cormanic. The top line out there for the Orange. Back below the goal, Brendan Duffy. Has everyone taken off his stick, and a turnover. Duffy in the slot, plays it in on goal. A chance for the Orange. Puck's loose. It's still loose. The backhander. No whistle blown yet. Brendan Duffy will find the captain. Connor Chesner plays it over to Jake Brown, his defense partner. That one just tipped wide of goal. Chesner levels his man. The crowd cheering. Chesner in on goal, the captain. Puck's loose in front again, and the whistle's blown. And what a shift by the captain. And the Orange finding momentum after the goal that tied it up by Cade Cook.
That's what it means to wear the C. You step up in moments that matters. This is 10 minutes left in the third period in a must-win game for Syracuse. They're just trailed by a game below them in the standings. They trail by just a game ahead of them in the standings. A lot on the line here for Syracuse. In the big moments, you need your biggest players to step up, and Chesner doing just that.
And Chesner is still out on the ice. He'll play this below the goal. Under 10:30 to go. Centered out in front, Chesner high slot. He'll play it back over to Brown. Brown far circle, fires, puck's loose in front again. Not able to capitalize on it, and coming back, Stony Brook begins. But a pass that missed the target allows Bradley Parker, high slot, fires in on goal and covered up by Regalado. But I like that by Parker. Quick decision, in over the line, knew what he wanted to do, and now they can live for an ozone draw.
Stony Brook looks flustered right now. Ever since the Syracuse, the first chance happened where there was 3 or 4 shots on net, and it was Regalado keeping them all out. It's been all Syracuse in terms of momentum. They've had the shots. I mean, I don't even know if Stony Brook has gotten it down the other side of the ice in the past couple minutes. It's been all orange.
And we've seen that with Syracuse. It's been bursts of offensive dominance in this game, and you saw it.
They're going on the power play here. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off there.
No, you're good.
Just caught that. Nakagawa took a really dumb penalty, sitting there at the blue line, chirping with his man. He got grabbed a little bit, just spears him right there in the middle of the ice. That's what you can't do. It's a tied game. Tied game, and the momentum is all on the other side. That is just a classic. Cannot do that mistake.
And once again, just talking about it, going back to the point of the Syracuse power play, 2 of its last 19. 2 of its last 18 when you factor in the 6-game losing streak. They're 0 for 1 here tonight. They have a chance tied 3-3 in the Nakagawa penalty. And the Orange win the power, or the face-off, pardon me.
That's Nakagawa off for slashing at 10 minutes and 4 seconds.
And it's taken back by Brendan Duffy. Duffy will play it over to McLean, back over, that's Ben Brandt. Jack Duffy. Ben Brandt, near side half wall, up top to the quarterback of the power play, Jack Duffy. Quick chance, Wren, and what a save, flashing the leather, denying Duffy on the doorstep, Steven Regalado. Wow.
That is one, that's going in his highlight tape for sure. Oh my goodness, the full extension, flashing the leather. How do you do? Keeps it 3-3, but it's going to be 5-on-3 for the next minute 28 now for Stony Brook. An excellent effort there on that play by number 13, Jack Wren for Syracuse. Sacrificed his stick to keep the puck in the zone, ended up leading to another penalty on Stony Brook.
Joe Trazera heads to the box and begins the 5-on-3 for the next minute 30.
Joey Trazera, a 2-minute minor for cross-checking. That's Trazera off the
Jack Duffy, Wren, one-timer blocked by the captain. Puck still in the offensive zone, in possession by Jack Duffy. Far circle, Duffy. Wren, that one in his skates, cannot fire the one-timer, but down low, Brandt spins through the wickets and in, he scores! Ben Brandt, his second goal of the game, cashes it in on the power play, and the Orange lead 4-3.
That was impressive. Ben Brandt finishes, but the real star of that play, in my opinion, Jack Wren. Puck came to him, the pass was not on his stick, stayed composed, got the puck right back to Cook, who feeds it low for Brandt, and he just buries it. It's what he does. We talked about it. He came to this one on a 4-game point streak. He had already scored 2 goals on Stony Brook earlier this year in the last game they played. Well, how about 2 more?
Syracuse down 3-2 coming into the final period of play. 2 unanswered. Brandt, his second of the game, came into tonight with a 4-game point streak. He made it 5 with his first goal, but just continues to stay red hot. And now a turnover. Mind you, to say that the power play is still in possession for Syracuse, because again, that was a 5-on-3, so the first penalty taken out and the second still in play. 5-on-4 advantage. And the captain, Connor Chesner, find his man, fires it in on goal. And out of the goal was Regalado, makes the save. That's Murphy over to Chesner once again. Back over to Murphy. Shot from the top of the point. And this one cleared, but Robbie Murphy at center ice will collect his thoughts and fire it back in. 30 seconds left on the man advantage. Bradley Parker up top to Chesner. Chesner has a lane, walks in, fires the howitzer of a shot. And it's gloved by Regalado once again.
Smart play by Bradley Parker on the half wall there. Pinched his man, allowed the puck to drift to the blue line. Syracuse was able to get another chance from that, so a heads-up play from the sophomore. Stony Brook, only 20 seconds left to kill. They need to do it, of course. It needs to be a one-goal game with 8 minutes left if you want a real chance at it. Of course, anything can happen. 8 minutes is still a lot of time, but you'd like it to be a one-goal game.
And now Ben Brandt centers to the slot. Near circle, plays it to Duffy, the top power play unit, back out onto the ice. Wren picks up the loose puck, fires, Brandt on the rebound, popping bottles, that's a hat trick for Ben Brandt. And with 7 seconds left in the man advantage, Brandt jumps on the loose puck and puts it right past Regalado. The Orange lead 5-3.
He's a freshman. Ben Brandt with his third goal of the game. One hat makes its way onto the ice. There we go. But this has just been an amazing game from him. Second effort there after his first shot was blocked. Comes back to him, gets another one on the net of Regalado, and he squeaks it past him. Brandt on fire. He is now up to 17 goals in his first campaign and 28 points.
And we're back to 5-on-5 hockey. And that one down the length of the ice for an icing. And you hear it over the PA system. Ben Brandt, a hat trick. Just what a night it's been here for the Tennity Ice Pavilion for Ben Brandt. And the assist coming from both Duffys, that being Brendan Duffy and Jack Duffy.
And that's Jack Duffy's second point of the game. He himself was riding a 3-game point streak into this one. He now extends that to 4.
Yeah, Duffy, a player who kind of started out slow to his standards in his freshman campaign, but he's picked his game up over the second semester, and you know, he's been a big-time player, adding contributions defensively, but also on the power play as the quarterback, and also just in the rush. And you know, head coach Chris Timmons is just gotta, you know, be grateful that he's getting big contributions during his freshman year, but he's going to have another 3 years of this guy, you know, after this year's done.
He's developed a lot since I saw him in the first game of the season. He just looks like a completely different player, skating with a whole lot more confidence now.
And speaking of confidence, that's every single player on the ice for the Orange. A good look there by Henry Pendleton. That one deflected up and out of play. 6:30 to go. Just a complete change of shift here for both teams, realistically. It was a dominant second period for Stony Brook, and what thought was potentially going to just go in their favor. They had a 2.5-minute power play to start the period, is turned into 3 unanswered goals for the Orange. They lead 5-3.
Yeah, I mean, it's a crazy swing.
Yeah.
When we hit that 5-minute major, the energy was taken out of the building, and it was a great job by Syracuse's strongest players to get them back into this game.
But coming back, Mara, he's got one already. The redirect in on goal, looking for Hyde, but Finta dialed in, denies the look, and pushed forward by Jack Wren. He'll have Cade Cook with a full head of steam, near side dot, fires, just missing the inside of the post. That one hops over the stick of Cook once more. 5:45 to go. Cook near side corner. Fanning plays it out. Jake Brown fires that one wide. Jack Duffy, we just talked about him. He'll play this one down below the goal. Cook, we're going to get it back. Robbie Murphy will kick it back to Cook, who gets knocked down. Official's arm is up.
That is an absolute killer for the Seawolves. You're in a spot where you're down 2 goals with 5 minutes left. The last thing you can do is take a penalty like that. It's Lorenzo Mara who started the scoring today. He will now sit for 2 of the final 5 minutes.
And this Syracuse power play is found another light, to say the least, in the third period. You talked about how good they've been at home, and they have another chance to do so.
I think they should really focus on the puck movement before the shots. If a grade A opportunity opens up, awesome, let's take it. But one thing that they need to do is just stay within themselves and not give up a rush going the other way. That is the only thing that can really knock them off right now. With this penalty would take it down to about 3 minutes left, and there's still time for Stony Brook to score 2 goals there, but it's a lot to ask.
Now Brendan Duffy below the goal, over to Wren, far side corner. 30 seconds gone in the man advantage, looking to play from low to high. He'll find Jack Duffy. Wren. Jack Duffy, high slot, blocked. Kept in possession. 4:35 to go in the game, minute 10 in the power play. Wren looking for it, Jack Duffy dancing. Jack Duffy in on goal, deflected high, over the top of the net. And Cormanic, the captain, centers to the slot, a dangerous pass, but it is enough to clear it down the ice with 50 seconds left to go in the man advantage.
As much as Syracuse should be playing safe, it should be Stony Brook being uber aggressive. A 6-3 lead is no worse than a 5-3 lead right now. They need goals, and they need them fast.
And we'll see if Regalado comes out of the goal potentially here soon. It will be hard to do so with Syracuse on the power play, but we're nearing that 3.5-minute mark, and that's typically when you see teams pull their netminder when down 2 goals. But we'll see once this penalty expires in the next 20 seconds. Is Carter Rudd in over the line, sends it in. Chesner keeps it alive, far point, and cleared. So 5 seconds left in the Syracuse power play. Regalado, no signs of coming out of the crease yet. Syracuse holds possession below their goal. And that one will go down the length of the ice for an icing. So you got to think here, head coach Chris Garofalo might have to just think about pulling his netminder, get the extra skater out there for the ozone draw.
Great time to take a timeout right now. Oh, well, there it is. Yeah, it's they beat me to it, but yeah, I mean, with 3 minutes and 15 seconds left, you mentioned it. This is about the time, maybe a little early from goalie pulling time, but at this point, with a 2-goal deficit, the way Syracuse is playing right now, I really don't see why not. It's Stony Brook's been able to connect on passes the whole way as is. I think right now is the time for them to lean on that ability. Work the puck around when they get the extra skater out there. Find the open guy. There's going to be an open guy naturally. I mean, it's 6 versus 5. Someone's got to be open. Move the puck around until you can find the open guy. People start to crash. Someone else will open up. They just need to focus on the puck movement right now. And I understand there's not a lot of time, so it might feel like they need to just go, fire pucks. But I think looking for the best opportunity is going to be what suits them best right now, because in the Fire Fest, it's been all Syracuse.
And Syracuse head coach Chris Timmons has his man right in front of him. What's he saying to him?
Buckle down. I mean, you got 3 minutes to break this streak. You lost 6 games in a row, but your season is not over. It's not often that you can be coming into a game 9-14-4 and still have a lot to play for, but they still do. Their next 4 games are huge, and then they end the season on a road trip to Niagara. But the next 4 games, it starts with this one. You have to finish this one. Can't start looking ahead to what is down the line and how, if we beat them 2 times, that's big. You need to finish off the first.
Face off to the right of A.J. Finta. Regalado is still in the goal. Wenrich, who scored the second goal of the game, out onto the ice defensively. Puck cleared down the ice, but not enough for an icing. 3 minutes to go. Wenrich plays it far side. And the captain in over the line. In on goal, a chance. The puck's there. Finta across the crease, splits. And coming back is going to be Ben Brandt for Syracuse. He's got a hat trick already in this one. Clears the defense, gets possession, and he's looking to just pin this puck up in the corner and waste time. What a smart play by a smart player. 2:30 to go. McLean in there. Wins his battle below the goal. 2:20 to go. Cycles it back down low, Brendan Duffy. Near corner. This possession by Syracuse won't allow Regginato to get out of his goal to allow Stony Brook to have that extra skater in hand. 2 minutes left and they still have possession here, just pinning the puck up in the corner. What a sequence by the Orange. If you are head coach Chris Timmons, this is beautiful hockey. The officials have not blown their whistle yet, they just did, and you can hear the stick tapping all the way from the bench far side. Just what a sequence on the offensive side of things, possessing the puck, taking over a minute of time off the clock.
That is beautiful work. When I was saying they should bear down, I had more intentions of the defensive end. That works too. That's what you need to do to win games. I mean, you close them out. That's one way to do it. Pin it against the boards, make them make the play, make the ref separate it. It's completely legal. It's not like you're going to the box for it.
And it's sent back in by the Orange, delayed offside. So allow Stony Brook to regroup for the time being and start their breakout. No signs of Regginato out of the goal and down two. Like, we'll see if they pull him. There's no signs. Kowalski. That one blocked, and Regginato has no sign. He is about deeper into his goal than it is out of his goal.
It's shocking. I've never seen something like this.
And now in over the line, that one flipped over Regginato. He got a piece of it. Pendleton below the goal, going to just waste as much time as possible. Jack Red lays his man out. And he goes back after the loose puck, 50 seconds to go. And they're going right back to it. The old reliable, pin it up against the corner boards and let the Dogs go after it. And here comes Robert Hyde, a quick chance, Finta! Flashes the glove again with 30 seconds to go. A big-time save, keeping the lead in favor of Syracuse 5-3.
They're getting in there and trying to put some pressure on the goalie, and then they're skating in with some reckless abandon right there. I'm a little surprised there's no arm in the air there. Finta got rocked there. That was a pretty big hit. Syracuse did a good job staying composed, though, with 30 seconds left. They're just focused on getting out of here with the win. If he's okay, we're okay.
And Regginato is still not out of the goal, and Syracuse is going to be more than happy with that. Not having to deal with the extra skater in hand for Stony Brook. And below the goal, it'll be Malik with 15 to go. Just flips it up and in. Finta blockers to the side. That one takes a trip to the top of the netting and out of play. With 11 seconds left. Face off to the right of Finta. Final 10 seconds tick. And in the return to the Tennity Ice Pavilion, after a 7-game road trip and a 6-game losing streak, the Orange snap the losing streak with a 5-3 win in conference play against Stony Brook, 5-3.
Well, it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. After that 2-0 start, the feeling in the arena it went from of hope, and it immediately went to, oh brother, the 6-game losing streak, and now 2-0 start for a team that that Syracuse has had their number. It's not a good start if you're a Syracuse fan. You were definitely feeling pretty rough, but it was a great bounce back. They stayed tough. and undoubtedly player of the game, Ben Brandt. How about that? 3 goals. He got him going at the start with the first goal, and then he had the last 2 as well. That's what you just need, that from your best players. And they show up in the big moments, and Ben Brandt did exactly that. He also extended that little 5-game point streak. Nothing too crazy.
Not too bad, and stay with us. We'll have more on the post-game report here on the SU Hockey Network. Once again, for Carter Masterson, alongside Evan Harrington, I want to say thank you to Spencer Bewley for doing today's producing. He'll be on the call tomorrow alongside Caitlin McDonough. Puck drop at 2 p.m. We'll be back in just a quick moment for the post-game report. Once again, thank you for tuning in to tonight's game on the SU Hockey Network. Syracuse defeats Stony Brook by a final score of 5-3. Welcome back into the broadcast booth alongside Carter Masterson. My name is Evan Harrington, and Carter, what a game it was for the Orange. The big storyline of tonight's game was that 7-game road trip, being back at the Tennity Ice Pavilion for the first time, but snapping that 6-game losing streak here in a big win over Stony Brook.
And we had been talking about it before the game. Over the losing streak, they were all close games. 4 of those games were 1-goal games. All of them were 1-goal games with just 2 minutes left. So it was either an empty net or it was a power play goal in one of them that created the 2-goal lead. But Syracuse was right in it in all of these. We talked about their shots on goal numbers. They beat a lot of the teams they played in shots on goal. But it hadn't been quite enough. They had not put it all together. Today, after a rough first period, they bounced back and did just that.
And facing adversity was a storyline in this game, and Stony Brook got out to a quick 2-0 lead. They were leading 3-2 going into the third period, but on the backs of Ben Brandt with a hat trick, he delivered here tonight.
I mean, when you go 30 minutes without scoring, that does take something out of an offense. It feels like the goalie's just on his stuff tonight, man. Like, you can't do anything about it. But Ben Brandt found a way. He had 2 massive goals in the dying moments of this one, and that's I've said it earlier, but you need your best players to step up in the big moments, and the big moments are down the stretch. 5-game point streak, 3 goals in this one to break a losing streak, keep those playoff hopes alive, and maybe start looking up the table rather than down.
And the Orange pick up big-time points in conference play here tonight against Stony Brook. They look to do the same tomorrow with a 2 p.m. puck drop here from the Tennity Ice Pavilion. Once again, alongside Carter Masterson, Evan Harrington here on the SU Hockey Network. We'll see you tomorrow.